The latest. If you'd like to sign up for the county's free debris removal, fill out a right of entry form, or get a list of disaster recovery centers that are still active, please visit recovery.lacounty.gov or call the debris hotline at 844-347-3332. If you're vulnerable to mudslides with rain in the forecast, free sandbags are being offered. Go to lacounty.pw/sandbags to find out where to get them. Businesses who have lost their facilities due to the fires can use a regional online source to get free or discounted locations. Whether you're interested in donating or finding space, you can visit the business-to-business Space Share portal at spaceshare.lacounty.gov. Additional LA County small business support and programs can be found at opportunity.lacounty.gov. Praying, advocating, and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
Tavis, Smiley, and I'm grateful to have you with us in this hour. Trayvon Martin should be celebrating his 30th birthday today. Trayvon Benjamin Martin was born on this day, February 5th, 1995, in Miami, Florida. He was murdered by George Zimmerman on February 26, 2012, in Sanford, Florida, at the age of 17. I am honored to have with us right now Trayvon's mother, Sabrina Fulton. Sabrina, first of all, thank you for taking my phone call the other day when I called to ask you to come on this program today. And more importantly, thank you on a day like today for taking these 30 minutes to talk to us about Trayvon on what would have been his 30th birthday. I'm deeply grateful. I know that you could have told me no and told everybody else no in this audience. But thank you for accepting my invitation. I appreciate you doing this. How are you, for starters?
I'm okay. I guess I'm doing a lot of reminiscing today, a lot of memories, good and bad. But I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. I suspect, I know you never close on the loss of a loved one like you close on a house, but I suspect even all these years later, you must have good days and bad days?
Of course. I definitely have good days and bad days, but I must admit that most of my days are good days. I still have my bad days where I stay at home and just cry.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to do that. And so, yeah, I still have my bad days. Whoever said time heals all wounds, they really didn't lose a child.
Yeah. No. When you have those good days, and I'm glad you have more good days than bad days, and you have these reminiscences, you think about Trayvon. What just if you're comfortable, like what makes you smile? What do you think about when it comes to Trayvon that makes you smile and makes you laugh on your good days?
On my good days, I think about him and Javaris, my oldest son. I think about vacations we've taken. I think about graduations. I think about just us having dinner together and just being around each other and being around the family. So those are my good days. That's mostly what I do when I'm thinking about him.
Yep. You always make a point, as any mother would. You always make a point to remind us that you do have another son named Javaris. And I think about him from time to time because when you lose a son like Trayvon, and the whole family has to navigate that, you, Javaris, Tracy, everybody has to deal with that, obviously. But I say a prayer sometimes for Javaris in part because he has to navigate this like everybody else does, right? And he has lost his brother, but there's all this attention on Trayvon. Talk to me about how you have, I suspect, you tell me, pulled Javaris a little closer. How have you mothered him all these years? How's he navigated this all these years?
Pretty much the same way. I mean, without Trayvon being here, Varus gets all the love,
Yeah.
And then I have another little nephew that's 3 years old that's very, very, very bad. That I put a lot of my energy into him as well. But I give Javaris a lot of my love, my attention. I still worry about him, even though he's in his 30s. I still worry about him, just like any other mom. I try to keep him away from, the limelight. I try to keep him away from the spotlight, and just try to make sure that he has some parts of what is called a normal life.
Yeah. To your point, you try to keep Javaris away from the limelight, keep him away from the spotlight. I understand that. I think this audience understands that as a mother, why you'd want to do that, particularly after losing Trayvon. I get that part. But you have done anything but that. You stepped into the limelight. You stepped into the spotlight, have become an activist, an advocate of the highest order. Tell me a bit more about that journey. I mean, you didn't expect to be, doing what you're doing these days. You didn't expect to lose your son. But when you did, it dramatically changed the trajectory of your life. Tell me about that part, Sabrina.
We say that it took my
her running for office, particularly at a moment like this. We'll talk about her work with the Circle of Mothers. We are honored to be in conversation right now with the mother of Trayvon Martin, Sabrina Fulton. Trayvon would be celebrating today, were he still here, his 30th birthday. You are listening to Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
This is an ad by BetterHelp Online Therapy. When it comes to relationships, we often hear about the red flags we should avoid, but it's just as important to focus on the green flags. Think about how you want a relationship to feel, one where your boundaries are respected and you're encouraged to be your best self. If you're not sure what that looks like, therapy can help you identify those qualities so you can embody the green flag energy yourself and find it in others. Because whether you're dating, married, or building a friendship, it's time to form relationships that love you back. BetterHelp connects you to a diverse network of over 30,000 therapists worldwide with expertise in a wide range of issues, from depression and anxiety to work and relationships. It's 100% online and sign up only takes a few minutes. Find your green flag energy with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/ABC Radio today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ABC Radio.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avastin-captid pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
We are celebrating, that's the word I want, celebrating the life and legacy of Trayvon Martin. He would be 30 years old today, and he'd not been cut down at the age of 17 by George Zimmerman. Who knows what his life would have been from 17 until 30. Sabrina, what do you think about that? This is your baby. What do you imagine Trayvon would have done or been doing from 17 to 30?
Well, I think about my oldest son, Javaris, and he doesn't have any kids, but he does have a good job, and he graduated from college. So I was expecting Trayvon to do the same thing, graduate from college, and right now have a good job in his own place.
Yeah. It's amazing how those basics mean so much, and how Trayvon did not get a chance to live out the dreams of his mother, or his own dreams for that matter. I want to go back to the conversation we had a moment ago about your becoming, this is my word, and if you want to tell me I'm wrong, then you can do that. But this reluctant activist, as you mentioned earlier, it took Trayvon being shot down for you to stand up. It's transparent, it's honest, it's open, and I certainly appreciate that. But tell me about the decision to do that, Sabrina. There are all kinds of mothers and others who've lost loved ones. And they've struggled, are struggling with how to navigate their lives forward. There are people who've lost loved ones who've decided, not to step into that advocacy realm. But you made a decision to do so. Tell me about how you made that decision when others have decided to do otherwise.
Well, that decision came not quickly and not willingly. It was through the fact that they were not going to arrest the person who had shot and killed Trayvon. Mm-hmm. I initially said I didn't want any parts of what was going on in Sanford, and so when they told me that, I left that day and went to Sanford, and that's how my advocacy started. I truly believe that Trayvon did not have a voice at the time, and so I had to become the person who was his voice. And so Tracy and I did just that. We had to speak up and step up and be the voice for Trayvon Martin, who is no longer here.
Yeah. Tell me about your faith journey. I know you and I have talked both publicly and privately about your faith journey. But from then until now, just tell me what this has done to the ways it has challenged, any way you want to frame it. Just tell me about your faith journey from the day that the day George Zimmerman killed your baby until now. Tell me about that journey, Sabrina.
Well, absolutely. I just felt like God wasn't there, and I questioned God, and I'm gonna say that because I'm truly just a real person. Mm-hmm. But I questioned God and why all of this happened to my son as opposed to somebody else's son. And I still don't understand it to this moment, but I trust and I believe in God. I've always been a believer. I'm not going to tell you that I'm a religious, holier than thou person, mm-hmm. but I truly believe in God, and I truly believe that he was there. He never leaves or forsakes us. And so I believe that. And so I just have to trust on God, even though I don't understand. And that brings me to my favorite Bible verse, which is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not unto your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. So that particular passage tells me that even though I don't understand, because my mind is not like God's, I just still have to trust on him and believe in him.
Yeah. I'm thinking as you're talking, Sabrina, you making me feel it right here, right about now. I'm thinking of something Maya Angelou told me many years ago, and she told me this many times as a matter of fact, over the years of our friendship. She said, Tavis, you have to accept, and if you can't accept this, you're gonna be in a world of trouble. But each of us has to accept that we are going to live lives from the cradle to the grave and there will be questions to which we will never have answers. And if you can't accept that, then you're in trouble. If you can't accept the fact that in each of our lives, there are going to be things that we never understand. There are going to be questions that we never have answers to. All of our questions aren't answered. Life doesn't give us green lights all the time. And so we have to learn to navigate our days respecting and accepting the fact that there are things that we're just never quite going to understand. Questions, again, to which we're never going to have answers. Are you okay with that, Sabrina? Can you live with that?
I'm living with it now.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of answers, and I just trust in God. You know, and a lot of people ask me, do I forgive the person that shot and killed Trayvon? I haven't gotten there. You know, and so I don't know if I ever get there. I know I'm supposed to forgive, but I'm just not there. I'm not there yet. And so I do trust in God. I do believe in God, and it's in His hands. It's nothing else for me to do.
Yeah. I wonder, and you may not have an answer here, but let me just ask anyway. I've had any number of conversations about this. I know a lot of black folk listening right now, and others for that matter, have felt the same way I have felt. I can recall any number of cases, as can you, and as can this audience, a number of cases where black folk jump up and forgive people for doing things they ain't even asked for forgiveness for. And I'm not mad at anybody for the way they process their faith, but I'm thinking of some of the family members of persons who were killed in that church, Mother Emanuel, when Dylan Roof came in there. A number of those persons jumped up and forgave Dylan Roof, and Dylan Roof had not then, or to my knowledge now, ever asked for forgiveness. I'm thinking of the judge in the court in Dallas where the white female police officer went into the wrong apartment, shot and killed that brother. And the judge comes off the bench. The black female judge comes off the bench and gives the police officer a hug. I'm thinking of some folk in Buffalo whose family members were killed in that supermarket. And these black folk come out publicly and forgive the shooter in that case who did not ask for forgiveness. When you see black folk in particular doing that, forgiving folk who've killed their loved ones who didn't even ask for forgiveness, how do you process that? Because to your point, you ain't got there yet.
How I process that is everybody has their own walk, they have their own journey, and they have their own level of forgiveness. And my level of forgiveness, I must have not reached that height yet.
Yeah.
In order to forgive that person who shot and killed my son. So I can't say anything about them because maybe they have, but I have not. And so that's all a part of grieving and healing, is to be honest with yourself and what you're going through. And so I'm very honest and open with myself. I tell my moms this when I have my circle of mothers, said, listen, I'm just not there yet. So don't pattern your life after what I do. You have to feel how you feel. You have to process it how you process it. The book can't tell you how to heal. The book can't tell you how to move forward. You have to do it in your own time.
Yeah. I want to ask a broad question here, and I'm asking it broadly because I want to give you all the canvas you need to paint here. You mentioned earlier that you ran for office, and I want to weave these two things together. You did, in fact, run for office, and we'll come to that in a second. But given the way that you encountered the system, our system of jurisprudence, our so-called system of justice or injustice, somebody else might call it. All these years later, give me your broad thoughts about the system, because we all saw the documentary. We watched this case of George Zimmerman in real time, and in that instance, the system flat out failed us. It just failed us. So again, it's a broad question. I'm doing that so you can go anywhere you want to go with it, Sabrina. But just talk to me about what you've thought about and what your thoughts are these days about the system.
As it relates to system, of course, the system, as far as I'm concerned, there's no justice in the system. It's a very unjust system. And so what will work in somebody else's favor does not work for people of color. And we just have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to know what's going on. Another point I want to make is we always tend to try to get out of jury duty when we need to make sure that we are practicing our civil rights, our civic rights and make sure that we are attending jury duty. That was one issue with the case. Another one, I felt so uncomfortable in the courtroom as if Trayvon was on trial. But Trayvon had not shot and killed anybody.
Yeah. No, that came through loud and clear for me. That was the thing that just troubled me every day. The way they sort of tried to interrogate the 17-year-old and to act as if he was on trial and not George Zimmerman. It troubled me. I can't imagine how you must have felt, Sabrina.
Yeah, and the next thing that I can think of was the young lady that Trayvon was on the phone with. When she came in the courtroom, she was a teenager by all accounts. And what I didn't like about America, meaning Black America, they judged her.
Yeah.
They picked on her. They mimicked her. And what people didn't understand is, as I sat there, I thought, and my set of thinking was as a mother, what if that was my daughter? I wouldn't want anybody to treat her in a different manner and to treat her the way that people were treating her. I mean, we have to be more supportive of each other. The court system, that whole thing to me was a joke.
Yeah.
It's about the person that has the most money. Whoever has the most money, that's who wins. Every now and then you get a few cases that slips through the cracks, but for the most part, it's who has the most money.
Yeah. I want to talk in these last 5 minutes, and I'm deeply grateful. I can't even imagine what you've gone through all these years, you, Tracy, Javaris, your family. But I'm, again, just humbled that Sabrina has taken some time to talk to us today on what would have been her son's 30th anniversary. In case you're tuned in, we're talking to Sabrina Fulton about Trayvon Martin. Again, Trayvon would have been 30 today. Hard to believe. When I realized last week that we were coming up on this anniversary, I about passed out because I just couldn't process that many years had flown by so quickly, at least to my mind. I suspect with you, it probably seems some days like time is moving swiftly and other days like time is standing still. Would I be right or wrong in that assessment, Sabrina?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it seems like it was just a couple of years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it seems like I've been going through this my whole life, but I don't know. It's good and bad. It's bittersweet. It's ups and downs, all of those things, But, hey, it is what it is, and I have to keep it moving. I have to keep moving forward. I have to stay focused. I have to make sure that I'm practicing self-love and taking care of myself and making sure that I'm doing the things that I need for myself. And I'm very big on that. I'm very big on spa day. I'm very big on meditating and praying and all of those things and taking good care of myself, because if I don't take good care of myself, I'm no good to anyone else.
No, you're right about that. We mentioned the book. We mentioned the documentary. You're running for office. You've done so many things over these years since you lost Trayvon. Tell me about the part of your work that most empowers you, the part of your work in witness that most inspires you. I suspect it may be the Circle of Mothers, but just tell me about the work that you do that really makes every day worth getting up and moving for you.
It's absolutely the Circle of Mothers. The Circle of Mothers is a program. I'm going to say program. It's a retreat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a workshop that I do every year in May after Mother's Day, because we're usually broken down for Mother's Day, but that Circle of Mothers builds us back up.
Mm.
And what it does is it connects us, it supports us, it empowers us. We laugh there, we cry, we heal. All of those things. We have a counselor come in to help us deal with the pain, deal with the hurt, and how we are carrying the pain and how we're carrying the hurt. And so I usually have 100 moms a year that I bring here to South Florida area, and it's a weekend. Like I said, it's about bonding. And if people want more information as it relates to Circle of Mothers, they can go to the Trayvon Martin website, which is TrayvonMartinFoundation.org.
Sabrina Fulton is the most resilient mother. She has become an accomplished speaker, an influential social justice advocate, after the tragic loss of her 17-year-old son, Trayvon Martin. She found a way and is still finding a way every day to turn her pain into purpose, dedicating her life to transforming the narrative around gun violence, racial injustice, and the need for systemic change. We were just talking about the system. When it comes to the issue of gun violence, it seems that this issue is unabated. We seem to make no progress at all on the notion of gun violence. What say you about that, Sabrina?
I can't say we haven't made any progress at all, because I definitely see some cases where police officers are being arrested and going to jail, and being convicted and going to jail, and also just regular citizens being convicted and going to jail. So those are our wins. Even though the loss of life still exists, we have some wins as far as people being held accountable for what they've done.
Yeah. Well, as long as I have a media platform, we will never forget Trayvon Martin. And it on these anniversaries, we pause to just remember him, what might have been, what could have been, what was cut short. And I am, again, humbled that Sabrina Fulton took a few minutes to talk to us today on what would have been Trayvon Martin's 30th birthday. So happy birthday, Trayvon. Sabrina, thank you for your time. I'll talk to you soon. You stay strong.
Okay, take care.
Appreciate you. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know with BIN News. USAID employees worldwide will be placed on leave in order to return to the U.S. on Friday. The Trump administration may abolish the agency that aids countries in disaster recovery, poverty escape, and democratic reforms. 100,000 organic eggs worth over $40,000 were stolen from a truck near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania over the weekend. Police currently have no leads on the thieves. College and high school students soon won't be able to identify themselves as non-binary when applying for federal financial aid. The Trump administration said Tuesday that the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, won't include the term starting in the 2025-26 cycle. And a new study in BMJ Mental Health suggests people are happier and more satisfied with life in the morning. Researchers did acknowledge that they don't have conclusive evidence that a certain time of day affects mental health. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
If you were self-employed or a 1099 contractor and missed work because you had COVID or cared for an immediate family member with COVID in 2021, you may qualify for up to $32,000 for the Sick and Family Leave Credit. Visit taxcreditnow.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Luka Doncic got a first-hand look at his new team Tuesday night at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, and he was impressed. Doncic was on the Lakers bench in street clothes for the Lakers' 122-97 beatdown of the Clippers. The Lakers scored 45 points in the first quarter, their highest total in a quarter this season, and led by as much as 31. LeBron, who sat next to Doncic whenever he went to the bench, had 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. The Lakers are 8-2 in their last 10 games. They have won 3 straight and are 10 games over 500 for the first time this season. The Lakers are having an important practice Wednesday morning. Doncic will participate in a 5-on-5 scrimmage, his first full contact workout since suffering a calf muscle strain on Christmas Day. Depending on how Doncic feels after the scrimmage, there's a good chance he could make his Lakers debut in Saturday's home game against Indiana. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
I have a dream today.
The road to freedom wasn't paved with just big moments. It was built day to day, step by step, voice by voice. This February, experience Black History Month through the stories that shape Los Angeles and beyond. KBLA Talk 1580, where Black history lives. KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Are you a recent college graduate with a dream of getting a high-paying job in sales? A job where you can grow a lucrative career in multi-platform audio, digital, podcast, social media, and local events, along with world-class training and career growth opportunities. KBLA Talk 1580, located in historic Leimert Park, is currently hiring entry-level account executives for outside sales. Join a team featuring radio hosts Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornell West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, Dr. Nee Cordelai Corte, Zoe Williams, and our very own Dominique DePrima. For more information on attending our upcoming career fair, contact SMB at KBLA1580.com today.
If you were self-employed or a 1099 contractor and missed work because you had COVID or cared for an immediate family member with COVID in 2021, you may qualify for up to $32,000 for the Sick and Family Leave Credit. Visit taxcreditnow.com.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Freedom is an endless meeting, so let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Outstanding. Girl, you knock me out. Exciting. You make me wanna shout. Yeah, you looking sweet tonight. You find it every day, girl. Wish that I could love you right in a special way, girl. You light my fire. I feel alive with you. You blow my mind. I'm satisfied.
It's the pride of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Gap Band. You know what that Gap stands for, right? That G, that A, that P, Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. I am delighted right now to be in conversation with the first black mayor in Tulsa, Oklahoma's 127-year history. Mayor Monroe Nichols joins us right now. And I think this is a fitting conversation for Black History Month. Mayor Nichols, congratulations, sir. Good to have you on. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on. Excited to talk to you.
I'm excited to have you on, man. Thank you for the opportunity. The Gap Band sound good to you? That sound okay to you?
Man, they always sound good, man. Always sound good, baby.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have a band like the Gap Band representing your hometown, Uncle Charlie and the
Hey,
crew.
second to none, baby.
No, it's hard. It's hard to compete with Charlie Wilson. Charlie's a bad boy, and so many hits. As a solo artist, of course, Charlie's still doing it, but all those Gap Band hits, just amazing stuff. I love Charlie. As a matter of fact, I just heard an advertisement. He's doing a concert here around Valentine's Day here in L.A. So I'm sure everybody be packing in to see Charlie here around that celebration. That said, as I mentioned a moment ago, you are the first mayor in Tulsa's 127-year history. What took so long?
Man, I think the deal is this is a great time to reflect on a Black History Month. We still have a lot of firsts around this country. This is a big one. I think the legacy of the massacre and some of the relations over time, I think, are probably an issue. But I think we have a lot of firsts. Long way to go. I'm very proud to be the first, but committed to not being the last.
Yeah, give me more about your backstory. I'm going to give you a chance just to brag a little bit. I want the audience to understand more about your backstory and how you became mayor. So, what's the Monroe Nichols story?
Man, I spent the last 8 years in the legislature. I chaired the Oklahoma Legislative Black Caucus, served in the House here for 8 years. But really, my story starts in Central Texas, actually. I grew up in Central Texas. My grandfather was a pastor. My mom was a probation officer. My dad was a police officer. So, that was kind of my world growing up. But the thing, and I think this is, again, another overlay from Black History Month. I saw this tight connection between faith and service because my grandfather, my mom, and my dad, and that's just the world I grew up in. So when I got to Tulsa for college, I was looking for opportunities to serve. My first job was in the mayor's office out of college, and now I'm here in a different role at City Hall, and that's as the mayor.
Yep. How does that feel to have had a job in the mayor's office as a student, and now you are the mayor of the city?
Well, long time coming, but the crazy thing for me, I think about all the time, Tavis, is all the things that we were talking about way back in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Some of those things are still issues now, and so we really are long overdue on really addressing those underlying issues. I read when you published a covenant and thinking about that income gap and all those types of, those are still issues. Yeah. Those are almost unchanged. It's not even gotten a little bit worse since I was here before. So we're squarely focused on that kind of stuff now, because we know we have to deliver.
No, I just love that story of having been a young man working in the mayor's office, and now he is the mayor of the city of Tulsa. It's a beautiful story. Tell me what it's like growing up in a household. You said that so swiftly, but I want to unpack it for a second to give you a chance to unpack it. What's it like growing up in a house where your mama is a probation officer and your daddy is a police officer?
It's hard to lie, man. I'll tell you that right now.
It's hard to lie. I love that. I can't imagine that though. A house where your mama's probation officer and your dad's a cop. I'm not sure I want to be in that situation. Monroe Nichols.
And your grandfather's a pastor, man.
Yeah.
Like, you got law enforcement. You got the Lord on you. You got all of it on you, man.
You got the Lord and law enforcement chasing you down the street. I tell you, man,
you can't get away from that.
That is quite a thought. But to your point, though, I'm laughing because it's funny. But to your point, I can see then how service was your calling, and you saw it in your family firsthand. So this journey of yours, it shouldn't have been a surprise to anybody, I guess.
Well, I mean, the thing is, too, my mom always made sure I was, like, really in a bunch of different multicultural settings. So everything from, I went to Catholic school growing up.
Right.
But I was in the Zeta Gents, the young kids program that the Zetas had. Mom's a Delta, but she had me in Zeta Gents. I was in every type of youth organization you could be in, including being in president of youth group at church. So she always made me pursue these things and put me in front of different kinds of people. And then you have my own family. And so it was just a very diverse world that I grew up in. And I think because of what my parents did, my grandfather did, and the diverse world in which I grew up, I think all those things led to where I'm at right now. Because, I'm an outlier with a lot of black mayors across the country. Tulsa's like 15% black. So so this is an outlier for a lot of mayors of color across the country, because we're not majority, nowhere close to being majority. That's how I grew up, though.
Now I want to probe that to your point. That's how you grew up. I'm thinking of Tom Bradley. As you may know, I had the honor of working early in my career for the mayor. I didn't become the mayor of L.A., and I never will be the mayor of L.A., but like you, I worked in the mayor's office. So being mayor is not in my future, I know. But I did have the honor of working for Tom Bradley. And
never say never.
Well, I'm saying never on this, because I ain't trying to be mayor of L.A. I don't want to be mayor of L.A. So I'll let you see what Karen Bass is going through right now. I don't want none of that smoke.
Ooh,
I got enough drama
baby.
at this radio station. I don't want none of that smoke, literally or figuratively. But I worked for Tom Bradley, and here's what's fascinating for me. And I thought about it a moment ago, Mayor Nichols, when you made the point about Tulsa only being 15% black. Tom Bradley set a record, as we all know, mayor of L.A. for 5 consecutive terms, came that close to being governor of California, lost the governor's election by less than, listen to this, not even, but by less than 1 vote per precinct. If 1 vote per precinct in California had changed from Duke Mazian to Bradley, Tom Bradley would have been governor of California. That's how close he came to being governor. But he's mayor for 5 consecutive terms, 5 4-year terms, 20 years. It's never happened. It would never happen again, because they changed the rules now on term limits. So Tom Bradley set a record as mayor for 5 terms. Here's the point, though. Every year that Tom Bradley won, he runs in 69, he loses to Sam Yorty. He runs again in 73, and he wins, and he goes on to win again for 20 more years. But every year, every 4 years that Tom Bradley ran for re-election, the number of black folk living in L.A. proper was dwindling because of gang violence, because of lack of affordability for home ownership. Negroes were leaving the city of L.A. proper, so that every time Tom Bradley ran, there were fewer Negroes to actually vote for him, and he kept winning anyway, which is part of the amazing part of the story for how he pulled that off for 5 consecutive years. But that's Tom Bradley. Here you are in Tulsa, and the population is only 15% when you run, and yet you become mayor. How did that happen?
The thing is, you can't be afraid to talk to anybody about any issue, man.
Right.
And that's what I learned. What I learned about this community is that people want somebody to be accountable, and they may not agree with who you voted for president or whatever the case may be, but they want you to come and show up and tell them what you're going to do for them.
Yeah.
And that's what I did for 15 months. And we was very clear about what we were going to accomplish. And when we had tough issues, I didn't hide from them. We talked about them. And I think that really pulled through in the campaign. I think people were bought into what we can do as a community and say, hey, this might not be a dude I'd vote for president because I'm a different political party.
Yeah.
But when it comes to doing what's necessary here, he's the only one who showed up and was willing to answer my questions and talk to me about things that I want to talk about. And that's what I did for 15 months. That's how I got here.
Well, as they say, as Tip O'Neill said famously years ago, all politics is local. All politics is local.
That's right.
People want to know what you're going to do for them where they live. When we come forward, given the past of this city of Tulsa, he mentioned the massacre. I mentioned the massacre. I am curious in 2025 what race relations are like in the city of Tulsa. The fact that a black man can be mayor with a 15% black population is itself arresting. But all these years after the massacre, what are race relations like in the city of Tulsa, and why can't we get justice for those 1 or 2 persons still surviving surviving that massacre all those years ago? We'll talk to Mayor Monroe Nichols about that part when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Interrogating and unpacking. That's what we do around here. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
You've lost so much weight. How'd you do it?
I got medical treatment for weight loss through Zelty and lost 50 pounds. I struggled for the longest time, but Zelty makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelty providers can prescribe FDA-approved weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight, like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others.
I've heard those medications can help you lose weight, but aren't they expensive?
Zelty can help get the medication
covered by insurance, so it's as little as $0 a month.
What if you don't have insurance?
No problem. Zelty may be able to help you get other GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% off the price of name brand medications.
I'm ready to start losing weight. How do I get started with Zelty?
Just text.
Text SUNNY to 200-300 to get started today with Zelty and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy and Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text SUNNY to 200-300. That's SUNNY to 200-300. SUNNY to 200-300.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
You are indeed with Tulsa Mayor Monroe Nichols. He's the first black mayor of Tulsa in its 127-year history. I'm honored to have him on this program. Mayor Nichols, not too long ago, Mother Viola Fletcher, now 110 years old, literally came to this studio. She came all the way to L.A. to sit with me in studio for a conversation. We just reveled at having her spirit in this place. But she's 110 now, Mother Viola Fletcher. Mother Leslie Bennyfield Randall, I think, is 109. So they're the last two.
110 also.
Yeah, she's
both 110.
She just turned
110.
That's right. So they're both 110. Sure. Mother Viola Fletcher, Mother Leslie Bennyfield Randall. I'm going to give you a chance in a moment to talk about Project Greenwood. I promise we'll get to that. But I have been bothered by this, as have many others, that the city of Tulsa, the state of Oklahoma, has been steadfast in not giving them what they deserve. What's your read of that? Financially, I'm talking now.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say, I got in the office on December the 2nd, and one of the things we started to think about is what are the avenues?
Right.
And the reality is, for the most part, there's been attempts all the way up to the Supreme Court where those haven't been successful efforts. The statute of limitations is up on what happened in 1921. And so for me, I can tell you as somebody who has known Mother Randall, Mother Fletcher, who knew Uncle Red before he passed away in 2023, that does hit you with a level of frustration because, you're somewhat constrained on what you can do, even as being mayor. But we've turned that into, what can we accomplish? What can we get done? You mentioned Project Greenwood, and for me, that's the pathway forward. I try as best I can on saying, hey, we got this time in office right now. let's set our eyes on what's accomplishable. Let's honor the legacy and the life of not just Mother Fletcher, Mother Randall, but everybody who were victims of the massacre. Because frankly, our community as a whole was victimized, but certainly there's a part of town, and we know this in a people that have suffered the inequity as a result of that massacre, and we've got to make that right.
So say a quick word about what Project Greenwood is. I mentioned earlier Greenwood Archer Pine, the Gap Band. Tell me about what Project Greenwood is all about.
So Project Greenwood was brought to me by Justice for Greenwood, a very powerful attorney and a good friend of mine, Demario Solomon Simmons. You know, I wanted to talk to him because of this complexity of doing the things that are so hard to do as it relates to Mother Randall, Mother Fletcher. I said, Demario, you've been in this game for a while. You are the closest to the survivors. What are some of the other things that we can start to think about to be able to address the harm done by the race massacre? Project Greenwood is a reflection of those options. Things like scholarships for descendants of the massacre, grants to surviving entities, the buildings that still stand, making sure that those buildings are well maintained, grants to companies owned by descendants of massacre victims. I mean, the things that really recapture what was the essence of the Greenwood District, which was self-determination, economic opportunity, and making sure that is going to the folks whose families were robbed of everything. That's what Project Greenwood is all about. Not only is it about, starting to address the harm of the massacre, but from an economic development standpoint, it actually puts Tulsa where it should have been all this time. Imagine without the massacre what kind of economic engine the city of Tulsa would be overall.
Yeah.
If that was still the center of black wealth, if that was still where we were generating. I always say, in some respects, we were Atlanta before Atlanta was Atlanta. And that's what was robbed from this community.
Yeah.
And the goal is to restore that. And Project Greenwood's a key part of it.
Our remaining moments with the mayor of Tulsa, the first black mayor in 127 years, Monroe Nichols, right now on Tavis Smiley.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley, the first black mayor in the history of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Mayor Monroe Nichols, who I'm honored to have on this program. I got just 3 minutes left. Mayor, you talked about Project Greenwood. I asked you earlier, or said I wanted to ask you earlier about what race relations are like in Tulsa. Must not be doing too bad because you got a black man as mayor with only a 15% black population. But are the white folk in Tulsa down with Project Greenwood? Are they okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we're going to be working through and socialize folks to it. I think this can be a really uniting force for this community. This is not about blame. This is about harm. And this generation of Tulsans stepping up and saying, this is how we're going to respond. We're not the community we were in 1921. We're not the community we were in 1955 or 1993. This is 2025, and this is where we're headed. And, Tavis, I want to say something to you because I want to make sure I say this before I get off the air. I'll send this to you if you send me your text message or maybe on Twitter.
Sure.
I actually looked at my bookshelf over here. On that bookshelf, I have The Covenant of Black America, and I didn't even know it was in here. I thought it was at home.
Wow.
And when I opened it up, there's a picture of you signing a book for my mother, and it says, Monroe, stay strong, Tavis Smiley. I have it right here, right in front of me. I'll send you a picture of it.
Oh, see, that you trying to make me cry, man. You trying to make me cry. I can't cry on my own show, man.
You didn't know you were signing that for a future mayor of Tulsa. And you did, and so I want to let you know,
man,
what you do every day. There are those of us who are watching. There's those youngins who are watching.
Yeah.
And so I want you to know that I'm going to send you this picture. I'll send it to you on Twitter if you want to send me your phone number. I want you to have it. And there's a picture of you in this book my mom put in there of you signing the book. You came to Waco, Texas, to Baylor, I believe, to speak. My mom got your book. You signed this for me. You signed it to me. I want you to know how much it means to me.
Oh, man, you got tears in my eyes now. I didn't see that coming, man. But no, trust me. I will track you down later today by phone, and we will connect and we'll handle that business. But anyway, I'm speechless now. I'm so delighted that you are the mayor of Tulsa. I'm thrilled that you've made this history. Tulsa is blessed to have you as its mayor. I thank you for the time, and I look forward to the success of Project Greenwood. Mayor Monroe Nichols, thank you for your time, sir. All the best to you and your family.
Yes, sir. You too.
Appreciate you. Didn't see that coming. More Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. USAID employees worldwide will be placed on leave in order to return to the U.S. on Friday. The Trump administration may abolish the agency